Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Lefty's Place. Yes, yes, the Miami Heat are in the NBA Finals. The NBA Finals. They get a chance to go up against LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers in the NBA Finals. It's like a dream come true. The Miami Heat defeat the Boston Celtics 125 to 113 with a dominant performance on offense, like specifically on offense, because that defense last night was very skeptical, and that needs to be cleared up before the finals get here. Like, it just needs to. It's a good thing. It's a good thing we have like 3 days before the finals start to really get into the film room and really watch what we did wrong in that game on defense. But to start, I just want to be so freaking thankful that the Miami Heat are in the NBA Finals. Who would have thought this was the year we'd make the NBA Finals? Like, this wasn't supposed to be the year. It was supposed to be, a year from now, maybe 2 years from now when we get the other whale. But no, this year, obviously, COVID and all the, making the bubble and all that, making everything neutral, people are going to say that helped us. And sure, it did. But the thing is, in my opinion, sure, it makes it neutral, more closer together. But the thing is, with that means the best team should win out. There's no advantage to either team. We had a great home record. That needs to be said. We had one of the best home records in the NBA. So we were missing a big advantage of ours as well. And we still made it to the NBA Finals. The Heat have the best team in the Eastern Conference right now. There is no doubt about it. And this man right here, like, my God, this man coming up with the best game of his life in the biggest game of his life, to date. Because obviously we got some bigger games coming up. Like, I understand, we're in the Eastern Conference final. I mean, we're in the finals, and it's super happy, but job's not done. We still got 4 more to go. And it's going to be tough. But to be honest, between the Denver Nuggets and the Los Angeles Lakers, I know this might sound crazy, but I prefer the matchup that we can have against the Lakers. I feel like we have more bodies that we can send at Anthony Davis and LeBron James, and I just feel it'll be a lot easier for us compared to, Jokic and the Nuggets, who have, pretty much a similar team to ours, where like they have a 1 through 10 that they can put out there, and it would cause a lot of matchup issues. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'm gonna have another video previewing the Lakers and the Heat finals. I'm gonna have my own video of that. Today, I'm just recapping Game 6 and just how I was feeling during this game. Now, to be honest, this whole entire series, I've actually felt pretty confident. Like, maybe not the first game, I was like trying to feel out, see how we were going to play against the Celtics, and I felt pretty good, even though we were down early. Like, I felt like the Heat were not playing their best, and we're still in, like range of being able to win the game, which of course they did. So I was actually feeling good about this series. But then as soon as they won, the way that they won in Game 5 with the Heat not looking themselves and just, and I know I have not put out many videos lately, at least like for the last 2 games, or at least for the last game. And that was because I went on vacation, and, but I'm back and I'm here to give you guys these videos. But like, I actually was nervous for this game. I was extremely nervous for this game. I wasn't sure what Heat team we were going to get. I mean, I knew we were going to get a tough-minded Heat team because that's just how they've been all season. But the Celtics had their back against the wall. So I wasn't sure if, they were going to come out firing, which they did. I mean, Marcus Smart playing outside of himself, going for like 4 for 7 from the three-point line to start this game, which I kept on saying, like, even though it felt like we have to get more pressure on him, I'm okay with him taking those shots, which in the end was a good choice because he ended 4 for 13. He missed his last 6 after making 4 for 7. So I was actually correct in being like, you let him take those. Don't worry about it. And he took the most 3-pointers on the team. You want that. That's the game plan that the Heat set out. Give Marcus Smart those shots, even though he's going to. And the fact that he made so many early, they've said it on 5 Reasons Sports, that's the best thing that could have happened for the Miami Heat. Let that happen early on in the game so he feels confident in taking as many as he possibly can, and he'll miss more than he makes. And that's exactly what happened. And I'll tell you what, the end of that game, I was actually extremely shocked with the way that the Celtics handled that game. Like, I know, I'm actually even listening to, like, the Boston Celtics podcast stuff just because I love hearing these guys, like, upset and sad that, they're playing against the worst team and they're losing. And why aren't they, taking advantage of this? And it's because they're not ready. The Miami Heat were ready to take this, and they did. And, it's been the Celtics, closing these games have been an issue. Even into the Raptor series, and it showed its ugly head once again in this game because, man, they were just chucking up shots at the end of that game, and the Heat were just playing calm. I mean, my God, Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero just coming up so clutch at the end of this game. Like, Duncan Robinson with that 1-3 to put us up 5, I believe, or to put us up 8, I think, and same thing with Tyler Hero, but he wasn't hitting those threes. He's not just a shooter. I mean, this kid can do it all. How many points? He had 19 points in this closeout game, 5 rebounds, and 7 assists. He did have 5 turnovers. I was pulling my hair out. I was like, my God. Tyler Hero kept on making these terrible decisions and, holding the ball for too long, letting Marcus Smart or Jaylen Brown, strip it from him. And I was really, really, getting on him. But, not 100% because I know that, he's still super young. We need to remember that. He's only 20 years old, but that certainly hurt us. But still, he was still a +9 in this game, and we didn't even have a really good game from Dragic. Yes, he had 7 assists. He had 3 turnovers, but he shot 4 for 11 and was a -11 in this game. He was the only person that was a minus in this game, aside from Solomon Hill, who played 5 minutes. Which honestly, I actually like Solomon Hill's minutes. It was thrown out of left field by Eric Spoelstra, but I mean, he does that all the time. Something you would never expect. And that's why I love this coach. Why he's going to be our coach for years to come. He's going to be one of the best coaches of all time. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. All that. Brings out a guy like Solomon Hill for 5 minutes, and even because I believe he started playing him in game 5 or game 4 actually, and he looked pretty good. He doesn't take the team out of their offense. He's a big body. He can play defense, and he can shoot the occasional 3, even though he hasn't been asked to do that yet. I think you might see him in this Lakers series. But I mean, those two Splash Brothers just doing what they need to do. And Duncan Robinson was a team high +24 in this game. +24 for Duncan Robinson. The guy brought it, had 5 3-pointers, was 5 for 7, and 6 rebounds, a steal. I mean, he did it all in this game, and I was really, really happy to see what we got from those two players. Jay Crowder, once again, was a no-show from the 3-point line, was a 1 for 5. But like in the previous game, he didn't allow that, or in the last couple games, he did not allow that to take him out of the game entirely. You notice, even with him not shooting the ball well, Eric Spoelstra kept him in the game. That's because he does what he needs to do aside from shooting the ball to help the Heat. His physical defense, he's always in there scrapping for rebounds, which in this game he had 6. And just overall, he his cutting is really good as well, which in this game really showed because he wasn't hitting those threes, but he had a couple, cuts and getting open for Dragic or Butler, to really make a difference in this game. And that's why I love Jay Crowder, and I feel like the Heat need to keep him for the future and for, however long we're contending in this stretch. Yeah, but now we're going to talk about the real players. Jimmy Butler played great. Especially early on, you could feel his aggressiveness and really trying to get into the game, getting guys open. He had 3 assists in the first quarter, and he was really, really aggressive. And that's a Jimmy Butler I've been wanting to see since game 3. Since game 3, because game 3 he wasn't aggressive, and he allowed the Celtics to really get going, And I mean, he's always there defensively, but it's just I just never felt I felt like there was something wrong with him. Like whether he was there was an injury, which of course he would never say. He would never make that say that that's an issue or bring up excuses, because that's just how they're built, and I love it. But it just felt like there was something wrong with him. But in this game, he came up with some clutch baskets. He had 22 points and 8 assists. I mean, and not really clutch baskets. It was just like, when the game was in the balance, like he came through for the Miami Heat. And that's what you want from your star. And he was a plus 18. That's third best on the team. Hey, he was amazing. Next great player on this team, Andre Iguodala. Iggy coming through. The man was 5 for 5, 4 for 4 from the three-point line. This is why you bring him into the squad. This is why he was one of the most sought-after players in the trade market, because when it counts, my boy Chris, who is a huge Golden State Warriors fan, told me, you're going to love him. You're going to love Andre Iguodala. Even when, he wasn't playing well, he still told me, keep the faith. This guy is going to come through for you when it matters. And that is exactly what he did. A chance to make it to the finals for a 5th consecutive year for Andre Iguodala. And he comes through with 5 for 5, 4 for 4 from the three-point line. And a second best on the team, plus 20. Huge from Andre Iguodala. And he's going to be a huge part in this next series. He was great at guarding LeBron James. Obviously, he's a lot older now, and, it might not be as easy, but he has a blueprint on how to guard LeBron James, and that's going to be essential for us in the next series. And then, of course, the best player on the floor in this game, Bam Adebayo. My God, is this kid coming into his own, dude. There was a stretch late in this game that I had never seen from Bam Adebayo, where he's literally just taking the ball up the floor and just attacking Daniel Tice. I have never seen that kind of Bam Adebayo. Oh, got a little call. But scam likely. So freaking annoying. But I had never seen that kind of aggressiveness from Bam. And he comes up with 32 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists, and a steal. He was a 0 on the floor, so it wasn't like, he did but the thing is, that's why plus minus is kind of like a tough stat to really consider all the time, because he was easily the best player on the floor. Easily. I mean, just like the defensive versatility he brings, but in this game, it was just his overall aggressiveness on offense, and what he can do it all. It was literally that stretch in the fourth quarter, or it might have been the third quarter. I think it was the fourth, though, where he just literally, it was the fourth, where he just attacked Daniel Tice 3 straight times, and there was nothing he could do about it. Those analysts that were calling that matchup a wash look like complete idiots now. Idiots. Because Bam Adebayo is a future star in this league. Career high 32 points in the biggest game of his life to date. I don't know what else I could say about it. It was unbelievable to see. I loved it. And I've been on the bandwagon train for a long time now. My Twitter feed will prove me right on that. I worked for the Heat for a while, and I actually met him in his rookie season when he came to the store and was just, a super humble guy, just, buying a couple court culture stuff. And I was like, oh my God, Bam Adebayo, what's up? I took a picture with him, and of course, I lost the picture. I don't know. I'm an idiot, but whatever. Bam Adebayo, huge game for the Miami Heat. And, from the Boston Celtics side, you got some good games. Jason Tatum didn't shoot well early. He was 0 for 5 to start the game, and then he started picking it up after that. But he still had a career-high 11 assists, 7 rebounds to go with 24 points. And he also had 2 steals and 1 block. He had a big game, and same thing for Jason Tatum. There was a stat that I saw that they were putting out that when Jaylen Brown scored over 25 points, the Boston Celtics were undefeated. Not anymore. He scored 26 points in this game, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals, 10 for 17 shooting, and they lost. They got great games from their 2 best players. Even Kemba Walker scored 20. Marcus Smart scored 20, even though not on good, efficiency. But, they still scored better. And you got some okay minutes from Daniel Tice, even though he looked like, really bad against Bam Adebayo during that stretch. It was just like, and it ended up getting him fouled out in this game. And honestly, I liked what I saw from Grant Williams. Like, he actually was able to keep, because he's very quick, so he was able to keep up with Bam Adebayo. But in the end, he still was kind of like out there, like not like on offense. He was kind of a liability because, yeah, he can shoot the three, but he's kind of not ready for that moment. And that's what makes Tyler Hero so amazing. That he's just there ready, making big plays late down the stretch. And Gordon Hayward, that's the other guy. Like, it's just, it kind of felt like they brought him back early, and obviously it looks that way with like him not playing well, like as the series progressed. He just wasn't ready to come back. But of course, they were down 2-0, so they had to bring him back. And it gave him some more depth. They obviously used him for 30 plus minutes because, I mean, after that, you kind of have nobody. I mean, yeah, Robert Williams is okay. Brad Wanamaker gives you some minutes, but he only played 9. Enes Kanter was a -11 in 7 minutes. So, like, yeah, he'll give you some rebounding, but his defense is trash. So it's like that was the biggest issue with the Celtics coming into the series, and it clearly hurt them. Like, it was ultimately the biggest factor in this game. The fact that the Heat can go to guys like Iggy, Hero. Obviously they had some series where they went with Derek Jones Jr. Kelly Olynyk kind of wasn't playing well, which I think he'll be a big part of this Lakers series. But with the Celtics, they just didn't know who to go to on the bench. Once Gordon Hayward came back, that was kind of like their 6-man rotation, and that was all they did. Sometimes they went with centers, but they didn't really know who to go with there, and that was just ultimately what did them in. Like, they need to figure out their rotation. They need to figure out, who they can bring in on the bench, because they have a great starting lineup. They have a great team, and that's why this series was so hard to close out. But they're just not ready for the moment. But the Miami Heat are, and the Miami Heat are heading to the NBA Finals. And we got 4 games left. 4 games left before we can add a 4th championship banner in the AAA. And I cannot wait. I can't wait for this series to start. I'm going to be bringing out my preview for the Lakers soon, probably tomorrow or the day before the series starts on Tuesday. I'm not sure yet. Make sure you guys stay tuned for that. So that's going to wrap it up for today's video. Make sure you guys hit the like button. That really helps. And of course, subscribe for any future Miami content. I got Miami Marlins coming up because they made the playoffs. I got Dolphins coming up because of their first win of the season. And of course, I got that preview coming up for the finals. Stay tuned, guys. Take it easy.